I promise you, I don't come to work to try to infuriate you or make you sick or annoy you. That's not my goal. I don't want to do it. But have you seen the video clip of the Obamas finally endorsing Kamala? Kamala's finally got her endorsement from Barack and Michelle. It's so bad. It's so cringy. It's so brutal. I have to play it. I know it's going to just make you sick to your stomach, but I got to do it.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Dave Rubin had the perfect response to that embarrassing exchange. He wrote, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. A billionaire orange man with zany hair is more authentic than all these plastic puppets combined. I mean, it's so true. They're so fake. Oh, Michelle, my girl Kamala. Oh, a little late to the dance, aren't you? You're a little late to the game. I mean, she was anointed. The coup happened a few days ago. What took you so long, Barack and Michelle? Now, Nostradamus peers into his crystal ball, because I've got a pretty good track record in 2024, now don't I? I'm the guy who kept telling you Biden's going to step down. I said it over and over again. I don't want to brag, but I'm going to brag. Nostradamus looks into his crystal ball and says, if Michelle Obama doesn't get a bigger bump in the polls than she's already getting right now, they're going to replace her at the convention, because it's all about winning. Rasmussen they're showing election forecasts, and the betting odds still have across the board. Trump's got a 62% chance of winning. Kamala has a 35% chance of winning. The betting odds haven't changed. The betting odds haven't changed. Trump is continuing to dominate all the polls. Now, they're going to try to memory hole you, and they're going to lie to you, and they're going to make you think she wasn't really in charge of the border, and she didn't really defund the police. She wasn't really in favor of that. CNN just posted something. Andy Kaczynski, who's the K-File guy over there, and he's the guy that's the master at going back and finding old clips from years ago. He found a clip of Kamala Harris advocating the defund the police movement. Now, they're going to pretend she didn't do that. They're going to try to act like she's not the radical leftist she is. So that we just have to accept that. If the polls don't get a lot better for her real quick, they'll pull somebody else out of their hat. You wait and see. They'll have a revolt at the convention in Chicago. It's already going to be a crap show. And they'll get Gavin Newsom in there. They'll pull Michelle Obama out. They'll get Oprah. They'll do somebody else. You mark my words. How can I not be happy when I'm witnessing this train wreck that the Democrats are facing, and they're giddy? You know how we all keep telling each other not to be too complacent? Well, guess what? That goes double for them, because they think they're all exuberant with Kamala. I mean, she's such an extremist. All the police shootings, the classroom shootings, the school shootings we've seen in America, all of the violence that our kids with Sandy Hook and beyond, Columbine, reasonable people understand that it makes sense in order to give children a fighting chance in the classroom against a mass shooter, that it's okay for teachers who are trained to be armed. It's okay for school administrators and resource officers who are well-trained and certified to be armed. Because the only way you're going to stop a bad guy with a gun who comes into a school and shoots it up is a good guy with a gun. We see it over and over and over again. And the world knows that. When you're a radical leftist, you abhor the idea of people being armed. Check out this clip that somebody found of Vice President Kamala Harris calling those of us who believe in protecting our kids in the classroom extremists.
While you try to create safe and welcoming places where our children can learn, extremists attack our freedom to live safe from gun violence. They have the nerve to tell teachers to strap on a gun in the classroom, while they refuse to pass common sense gun safety laws.
Boo! I hope she does that some more. She better repeat that speech, that us extremists, we extremists, have the nerve to want kids to be safe. We have the nerve to try to protect children from lunatics who walk into a classroom like the guy did in Sandy Hook, or those punks did in Columbine, or all on and on and on and on. Can you imagine a woman thinking, a political figure thinking she's scoring political points by calling common sense self-defense of our children extremists? Look, people are waking up. White voters, black voters, Hispanic voters. Have you seen the polling that Trump is getting from black and Hispanic voters? You think she changes that equation? So far, she hasn't. We'll see. Keep an eye on the polls. Sage Steele is the former ESPN SportsCenter host, who I guess was kind of kicked out because she was, an extremist conservative. Pretty fascinating person. Here she was on Fox News talking about the black American voting bloc.
At the end of the day, this is about diversity of thought. I've been preaching that whenever I speak at colleges or anywhere for 15 years, long before even DEI was in existence, I think. But I knew that with my skin color, people automatically assume what I vote, what I think, who I should marry, who I should date. That's why when we talk about the black vote, I laugh. I'm like, really? We're not a monolith here. We actually have brains and can think in unique ways, despite the fact that we might all have brown skin. So there's so many things that I believe we must continue to talk about. It can be scary. You will get canceled. But then, I don't know, hopefully I'm one tiny example that you're still going to wake up the next morning and realize how much better you feel, because it's not just about you, it's about others who feel silenced as well.
It's polling is a funny thing. I know instinctively we kind of like polls when they go our way. We don't like polls when they don't go our way. We have to kind of accept that. But the truth is, in 2020, leading up to the November election, Trump was behind almost the whole year. There were very few polls that he was ahead. In 2024, he's ahead in all the polls. And in every poll that has come out except one, which shows Kamala Harris in a dead heat with Donald Trump, Trump still leads in the polling, including the swing states. This is what James Carville meant when he said, look, I know we're giddy right now. Oh, she's younger. We kicked out Biden. We did the coup. We got the old man to throw in the towel. Now we got, the younger. I mean, don't forget, this whole crap about the next generation. She's going to be 60 in October. I mean, I like thinking of a 60-year-old as a youngster because I'm 64. So I'm good with that. But the truth is, she ain't young, but that's all right. She's younger than Grandpa Joe. James Carville is warning his crowd, you better pump the brakes on all of this excitement and exuberance.
But I got to be the curmudgeon. I have to be the skunk at the garden party. This is too triumphalist, okay? This is everybody's giddy. I look at the coverage and it's great, and if I had to write a play about what I think it's going to be like, it would be entitled The Ice Pick Cometh, okay? Get ready, they're coming, all right? And it's good. Everybody should feel good and liberated and everything else. But if we don't win the election, we hadn't done anything. We haven't changed the temperature in America. We haven't changed anything. And I think the vice president, I hope that, her campaign is getting ready. I hope they'll listen to my friend and fellow New Orleanian, Don Brazil, who actually, I think, has the same kind of view of politics that I do. And they're coming at us, and they're going to keep coming. And this kind of giddy elation is not going to be very helpful much longer, because that's not what we're going to be faced with. And I think the vice president, put it in athletic terms, needs a really good cut man in a corner, because she's getting ready to get cut.
You're right. Oh, we're coming. We're coming. There are a lot of warriors who are coming at Kamala Harris's record. There are a lot of warriors who are going to be able to expose who she is. Let me give you some examples of some of those warriors. Let's go down the list. Let me give you 3 examples of warriors that remind you that we will be fighting to win on November 5th. Warrior number 1, Senator Ted Cruz on Fox News.
She is the sitting border czar. She is directly responsible for the crisis at our southern border, for the open borders we've had for 3.5 years, for the invasion of 11.5 million people. She was put in charge, and she did nothing. As you rightly noted, she's been to the border a total of 1 time in her 4 years as vice president. She went to El Paso. They cleaned it up. So she saw no illegal aliens. She didn't go to what was then the epicenter of the invasion. That was the Rio Grande Valley. She couldn't be bothered to go there. She didn't go to Eagle Pass, which is where the crisis moved next. She didn't go to Del Rio. I was in Del Rio on a day. Del Rio is a very small town on the Rio Grande River. It's about 30,000 people live in Del Rio. I was there on a day when in a single day there were more than 10,000 Haitian illegal immigrants crossing into Del Rio. Imagine for a second 1/3 of the population of your entire city entering in a single day. Kamala Harris was nowhere to be found. Instead, she's right now in my hometown of Houston talking to the national teachers unions, because what is her priority? Her priority is opposing school choice. Her priority is keeping kids trapped in failed schools. I think education freedom is the civil rights issue of the 21st century, and Kamala Harris's message to low-income kids, to African-American children, to Hispanic children is you are trapped and there is no hope coming from the Democrats. Because why? They're more interested in the dollars and the political foot soldiers of the teachers unions than they are in the children who are being left behind. Kamala has zero interest in actually securing the border, because she looks at 11 million illegal immigrants and she sees future Democrat votes as far as the eye can see.
Warrior number 2, attorney Harmeet Dillon on the Charlie Kirk Show this week on the Salem Media Group.
There are many Kamala Harrises. Kamala Harris is one person when she's trying to get elected to a new job, and then she's a different person when she gets that job and is trying to get elected to the next job. And I have been in San Francisco since she was a candidate for district attorney. She ran against her boss as appealing to be the tough-on-crime prosecutor. But when she got that job, within 4 months, the first thing she did was refuse to seek the death penalty for a cop killer, Isaac Espinosa's killer, in a heinous crime. She went on to focus on low-level street crime to rack up numbers, but ignored human trafficking, the drug trade, and the serious crimes and illegal immigration crimes coming across the border. And frankly, her eyes were always on the next gig.
Brutal, scathing indictment of who Kamala Harris is. And this is who she is. Finally, I give you warrior number 3. Kind of an unlikely warrior in the political realm, but he's the president of the National Association of Police Organizations, President Mick McHale.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored to stand before you today, and on behalf of the National Association of Police Organizations, I am pleased to formally announce NAPO's endorsement of Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
The cops like him. The military likes him. Americans like him. And after the cringy call that Barack and Michelle placed that they publicized, Dave Rubin is right. The orange billionaire with the funny hair is more authentic than any of those plastic puppets combined.